But I think that honestly, United, and we'll get into Sesko pretty quickly here. I think their first player that they wanted was Delap at 30 million. I think that was their choice if they had to have picked one. I think that was the two head masters essentially wanted that guy. I think Amram was on board, and Delap fell apart. That was Chelsea were able to make a better run at him and got him, which has led us to where we're at now with us being linked with Sesko. And it sounds like, essentially, from my understanding, is both teams are willing to meet some evaluation that's close to it, with whether it's 5 or 10 million pounds off. But the player's got the choice of wherever he wants to go. And from the reports right now, it sounds like it's United in the lead. I don't know how much I necessarily that. I don't know what we're looking at here, but for Newcastle, we've talked about it's a disaster summer. If they don't get him, I don't know what happens. I don't know if this is a domino effect where Isak ends up staying because they have no other choices. But that's like the prayer. That's like the hope and prayer to kind of get him. But that's just money talk at the end of the day. Let's just assume that United are in the lead and this is the player. This is the 9 that they're aiming for, and they can go and get him. What do you guys think of this option for United? And does this move them into a different tier?
Not for me. Not for me, only because my take with Šeško has always been I think he's a really quality profile. I think he will become a good player, but given the player he is right now, I think, let's say he went to Arsenal, that's a very competent team, another 10 guys that know what they're doing. So walking into the United situation, being as raw as he is, I think he's got a higher floor than Højlund, but it reeks of the similar situation.
Yeah, what do you think, Mila?
I don't know. I think the Arsenal point is right in terms of just the system and where it's at. Certainly, if you insert him into that, he's going to be way better. But I do think in terms of just the way United play and the formation that you guys are going to be running forward next season, he's going to benefit heavily from this with bombing for wide wing backs. And then these 2 additions that we just talked about underneath him causing havoc, making chances for him. I think it comes down to a lot of these guys that aren't Prem proven is like, yes, they're goal scorers, but can they do the goal scoring in the Premier League? So, like Grant said, we have to see how it pans out. I think I'm a little higher on the squad as a whole, though, and what's surrounding him than Grant, though.
Yeah, I've talked myself into Sesko. I think that me and Grant talked about it, and at the price, it's a risky move. And I think that there's a lot of and Grant even brought it up, we go young player, young striker, Højlund. And I need to preface myself and everyone else that this player isn't Højlund. Højlund came in at 20 and we threw him into Champions League football. I think that the Arsenal point's interesting. I'll throw a counter argument here of that Arsenal actually needed the 27-year-old and not the 22-year-old. They needed a player that can come in and just score goals right away. If anything, Ollie Watkins is the player that I thought they could have gone after too and been in the same position. Whereas I think United in a rebuilding team, we could have leaned towards Ollie Watkins, and yes, he could have helped right now, but what does that move United to potentially? From 15th to 8th, and then you're looking at 31-year-old Ollie Watkins next season, potentially with no value.
Yeah.
You don't know. That's the thing is this is all a bunch of unknowns. Sesko, I understand the risk, but it feels more calculated in terms of there's a strategy involved. I feel like in recent years, United have just thrown caution to the wind. And so when they got Højlund, it was because Ten Hag wanted Højlund. This was 3 or 4 people came together and went, look, we really like Sesko. We've been scouting him since he was 16. One guy in particular is super high on him, but everybody came to agreement that Vavell.
Yeah, he's from Red Bull. We had him for 6 months, but they know the player. To your point, it's not just what's the striker name? He's young. It's not Højlund. It's an easy comparison to make. I mean, we did with Højlund, Haaland. They look the same. They got blonde hair. Oh, let's compare them. It's a lazy comparison, but just in the mold of a young, inexperienced striker getting thrown into a tough situation, that's what kind of not scars 100%. Me. I enjoy it, but that's what gives me a little bit of unease with it. But again, the profile, the ceiling of the player, if he becomes good, I mean, of course, it's a great fit, especially in the system.
For United, I think I'm okay with the risk being taken. I think they've been bluffing this whole "we're broke" card. They put in a last-minute bid for Ekitike. And so I think that there's definitely some money coming in. We're going to talk about the bomb squad here. But I like the idea that either if it wasn't Sesko, it was Ollie Watkins, and there was a clear plan. I like the profile of player. He's a freak athlete. It's a good talent. It's just the question of how quickly can he adapt. And maybe he doesn't need to adapt that quickly. Like maybe there's a way where Amram has to adjust and he ends up playing Bruno in the false nine. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Go ahead, Mila.
As long as he fits the mold of what you're looking for, and I think you nailed it when you just talked about his athletic build. Like Ollie Watkins is also super athletic.
Yeah.
If you look at it just compared to his height, other players around his height in the same position, he's way more athletic than them. So it seems like you guys are looking for that athletic build right there. Watkins would have been more of a temporary option.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a swing at a more long-term option. But I do think they tick a lot of the same boxes. Sesko's frame is just a lot larger.
Yeah. This is more freak athlete territory than it is pure footballer. Like Sesko does a lot of things well. He's not the full package. And he's raw, and maybe he gets into some of that. I don't think that's his profile. I think at the end of the day, he's a semi-target 9 who's 6'5". So you can whip in across to him. He can play a good one-touch pass. From my understanding of like some of the videos and comps that I've seen, he's good at the one-touch pass.
Hope that doesn't get clipped.
If you throw him into the dribbling category, that's where it's not good. He's just way too big at 6'5". It's very similar to Holland. Like, do you want to see Holland running with the ball? No. But Holland in the one-touch pass, if it's one-on-one blitzing a dude, totally. But if it's like Holland in tight spaces trying to wiggle out, like
that's kind of cool too.
No, yeah, you got other guys for that.
We're not in love with it. We're not in love with it. That's why you got
other guys better at that.